Hi everybody, good evening and welcome to our channel. Tonight we have a very interesting person. We bumped into each other very virtually, online really. Uh, and she teaches all about the meridians. The meridians are kind of subtle energy channels, if you will, or subtle flows that are there on the body. And I was quite intrigued, with the craniosacral therapy and the batch flowers. I felt that this would be interesting to learn, interesting to know more about. And so I reached out to her, and she very kindly, created a online class for us. And we learned, and we've been, practicing with the meridians, and we're having a whole lot of fun. And then I requested her if she would agree to kind of come and do an interview with us, and talk about the meridians and talk about how she got to know about them, and all that. And so she said yes. And so right now with me, well, virtually, we've got Amy and her husband Robert from Arizona in America with us on our channel right now. So welcome, Amy and Robert. It is just such a pleasure having you with us tonight, though I think for you, no, I get mixed with the time zone. So yeah, so we'll stick to tonight. uh, so, uh, so welcome, Amy and Robert, to our channel tonight. It's just a pleasure to have you here. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Bala. Thank you so much for having us.
Hi, Bala. Thank you again, too.
It's really nice to be here and have an opportunity to connect with all of you and to be able to share my excitement for this work. It's so much fun.
So, Amy, let's start at the very beginning. How did you get it? How did you get involved with it? How did you learn about the meridians?
I have a very dear friend who's a medical doctor, an MD in the United States, and she was teaching me some information, and she handed me Donna's video, Donna Eden, Energy Medicine, the book. She handed me a video and said, try this book, try this video, see what you think. And I looked at it and I read it, and I went online and I signed up for a class. And the first thing I did was go take a 5-day class with Donna and learn this information, because it was so fascinating to me to see that you could rub on a certain point, or you could trace a hand a certain way, and pain would go away and health would come back. And it just seems so simple. So I learned it very quickly in a weekend, fell in love, and found that people were following me around and saying, what did you do? Something's different about you. And all I had done was a few days of practicing all of this. So when I came home, I realized I wanted to learn more, and I just studied more and more and more over time. And I've taken probably, we're close to 15 years now of practicing this work, which is so much fun. It really is. People say, what can you fix with it? Well, nobody's broken, but what can you help with it? Everything. I have seen unbelievable results every time, every chance I get. People get better. They always leave my office feeling better than they did when they came.
Wow. So you have to tell us some stories then.
Well, here's a great one. A woman found me and wanted to do an interview. She said, I'd like to interview you for a natural health magazine, because we're doing it all on alternative forms of medicine. And I said, no, but you can come for a session. And she said, okay. So she came for a session, and I worked on her for probably 2 hours. It was very simple, gentle things, holding points, massaging things lightly, holding points on her head, very simple things. We're not talking big stuff. And she hadn't told me that she had any issues. So it wasn't like she came in and said, I have chronic headaches, or I have chronic this. It wasn't that at all. She came in and she enjoyed the session. And when the session was over, she said, oh, that felt wonderful. I feel so relaxed. And she got up and she looked around and she said, I haven't been able to stand this straight since I was 7. I had an accident when I was young, and I've had this pain, and I barely walk at a limp. And she went skipping down my driveway out of my house. She was so happy, and she wrote a lovely article. She was so happy. Another story, I had a woman who came to me. She found me because she had had a car accident, and she had excruciating back pain. She could hardly move, and she was always having to go to work in pain. And she came to me doubting completely that it would work at all. But someone said, you have to go see Amy. So she did. She came to see me, and she was a struggle to get up on the table, and she laid there patiently for the hour and a half that the session was. And when she was finished, she gingerly started to get up, and she said, my back doesn't hurt. And she was shocked, absolutely shocked that her back didn't hurt. She said the pain was 85% reduced in that first little bit, and as she moved a little bit, it decreased completely. So her back pain that had been there for several months was gone. Many stories like that. I have many more, lots of back pain that had happened. Even my own mother, who's now 83 years old, she was having back pain, and she said the doctors had told her they had nothing for her. There was absolutely nothing they could do. They were trying special things, and nothing was going to work for her. So I did one session, and she was sold. She said, absolutely, this was the best thing ever. And now years old, and she still does her own irrigation in the yard, and she climbs ladders, and she cuts her own tree parts, and she does all of that.
Wow.
And she's perfectly capable. And she does her self-care routine every single day. She takes care of herself, and she does all of her self-care work.
Fantastic. That's really amazing. And
Lots.
sorry, Amy, you were saying something?
No, lots and lots of stories. There are endless stories of people who feel better. I have a client who had MS, multiple sclerosis, and she no longer has multiple sclerosis. It was a combination of her doing her own work and doing some of the work that we do together.
Wow. That's so heartening to know that, this very non-invasive procedures can really, really help people. I have a question for Robert. Robert, is it okay if I ask you a question?
Please do.
How does it feel being married to Amy?
I guess I feel very lucky, very blessed. Obviously she helps me with things I have, when I ask, and sometimes she helps me when I don't ask. So it's nice to see, and I'm probably healthier than I've ever been in my life, and I'm probably twice as healthy and energetically than I was when I was 10 years older than I am now. So I've seen nothing but real goodness and change from this that it's meaningful, and it seems lasting.
But how was your reaction when it all started? Like, did you just jump in with her, or did you have a little bit of reservation?
I was a little skeptical in the beginning. I don't come from generally a background that's quite as open and a healing type background, and so I really had to learn a little bit more about it and just open myself up to it and really just relax. And she obviously helped me do that, and so I feel, just like I said, blessed to be a part of it all, and whatever I can do to help and help other people possibly understand it is a great thing, I think. Thanks to her.
Good team.
So, Amy, how has it helped you personally?
Well, one thing that it's helped tremendously is my resilience. When stress happens, when there are problems in the outside world, like these days, the way things are, my resilience is increased. When I first started this work, things would knock me, bad news, or a cranky person in the house, or you name it. All kinds of things and it would take me a little while to recover. After I started doing this work, I would hear bad news, and it would be, and I would still be able to function. I would figure the way to move forward, and it wouldn't be something that sent me off guard. I was able to stay present and centered even when traumas and tragedies happen around me. I've been able to be present for others. There was a time, I'd say almost 4 years ago in this country, in November 4 years ago in this country, when some things changed in who was leading our country. And I can't tell you how many people went into a state of absolute hysteria, panic, shock, trauma. And my job at that time was to help bring all of those people back into their bodies, because they were stressed beyond belief based on, you know, bad news that was happening around them. So for me, I was able to become resilient. It did not knock me over this time. So over time, I've been able to keep my immune system strong. I can't remember the last time I got sick. Honestly, we're talking 5, 6 years at least, maybe longer. I don't even get colds. I don't have any illnesses ever. I never get sick. So my digestive system works really well. My health is good. My skin is good. I'm 56, almost 57 years old, and I feel better than I did when I was in my early 40s. So it's a really long term, it's really beneficial for my health. I can do anything without limits. I am my mother's daughter, clearly, because at 83, she's strong. I am on that path.
And what about your daughters, Amy? How have they taken it?
My daughters were both very resistant when it started. They both said, "Mom's weird and don't touch me with that stuff." But one day, my youngest daughter, who's now 26 years old, she had an argument with her best friend, and she was very quiet on the drive on the way home. And I was just listening, wondering if she'd say anything, which she never did. And she was very cute. When she got home, I said, "You know, I need to practice." I was taking my classes at the time, learning how to do this work. And I said, "I need to practice. Would you be willing to be my body for today?" And she sort of grudgingly said, "Okay." And she laid down on the table, and I started working on her. And I started working on helping her to open up her voice and open up the throat space to find her voice and be able to speak. And she started talking. She told me I had this terrible day and my best friend this, blah, blah, blah. And then she realized that she had just released all of that stress that she had inside of her, and she felt so much better. So reluctantly, but she realized it helped. And my other daughter, walking through a doorway, she's 28. She hit her elbow pretty hard walking through a doorway, really hard, enough that it started bruising immediately. And she was worried that maybe there was going to be some bruising and she might have fractured her bone. So we started doing a very simple thing, infinity signs over the pain, just little infinity signs over the pain. And I wasn't even touching her because it was so sensitive, just in the air above it. And we actually watched the color start reducing in the bruise. It was gone, and she didn't have any pain within a day or two. There was no pain whatsoever. So they might have been resistant, but they can't argue with the actual facts that things get better.
I remember on our class when you had taught us the infinity sign, our friend Lalit, who is a bodybuilder, he kind of injured himself the next day while he was doing a shoulder pull or something like that. And it was really paining, but he just did the infinity sign over that thing for about 3 or 4 minutes, and he actually said he could complete the workout. The pain just went away. So maybe, Amy, why don't we teach everybody how to do that? It would be a fabulous thing for everybody to learn.
It's such a simple thing. You simply pick something that hurts, your shoulder, your arm, even a headache. If you have a headache, you simply take your hand and either touching it or in the air above it, go slowly and gently. We had a gal who had sunburn. She was out in the sun too long, and she came in and her arms were burnt. She did this over her sunburn, over her shoulders. And she did it for a little bit on and off for about half an hour. And her mother, who was with her, looked down and said, "Your arm is not burnt anymore. The sunburn is gone." So anything that hurts, You simply do the infinity sign or a sign of the number 8, however it makes sense to you. It will make things, it decreases pain instantly.
And does it matter if you do it, horizontally or vertically?
It does not matter. You can do it horizontally. You can do it vertically. You can do it between you and somebody else. Here's another story. We have a friend whose wife was very angry with him, and she left him. She went away and she took the children and she said, I'm never coming back. And I said, when I saw him next, I said, okay, so the next time you see your wife, this is what you do. You do this between you. And he said, why? And I said, because it harmonizes the energy between you. It helps if there's two clashing, like two magnets pressing against each other. It helps to make it so there's harmony between. So you can have a conversation and start communicating clearly. And the next time I saw him, I said, how are things with your wife? And he said, she came back. So even that, it harmonizes information between people. It doesn't change the person. It's not like I'm changing Robert and manipulating him to be under my power. It's simply that our energies are currently at odds with each other. Our systems, the way we're moving is not communicating, and this just helps us to be able to communicate.
Yeah. We have that, sometimes you just simply don't like a person. And, you don't like them for their mere existence. They've not done anything to you. It's just that that person bothers you in some way. And I guess that's what you mean when you say that your energy is at loggerheads with their energy. It's just a feeling that I don't like this guy, or I don't like this person, this lady.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And maybe, that's a good idea. Maybe you just do this. Though it might be a little weird doing that.
You can do it with your hand, or you can do it in your mind. If you just think that infinity sign between you and the other person, and you notice that you stop feeling so adversive towards them. Maybe you would do that, and then you feel a little bit more peace. And I'd really like to go speak to that person, and that opens up a whole new relationship.
So that person need not even be there. You can just imagine that person.
Correct. Correct.
Okay, that's a cool
And
thing.
it works with animals too. People who are afraid of animals, or if there's dogs who are a little bit timid or growly, it works with animals also.
Wow, that's really cool. So show us some more magic then.
More magic. Okay, so here's one. Everybody carries a bag of some sort over their shoulder, yes? Even if it's a lightweight bag. People put bags on their shoulders and they go walking down the street with their bag on their shoulder. Well, guess what it does? It weakens your body. It helps to reduce your resilience. So Robert's going to do a real quick energy test on me to show that I'm nice and strong to start off with. He's pressing pretty hard and I'm nice and strong.
So Amy, can you explain what he just did?
So what he's doing is, we have the ability for our flow to go through muscles and arms. We should, all of our meridians are a circuit. There are 14 channels and they are all connected, one channel connected to 14 pathways. So everything flows from one to the other. So when he tests my arm, what he's doing is checking to make sure the flow is running, of the meridian is running through my arm. And when it flows through the arm will be nice and strong. It's not about muscles, it's about the flow being strong, so the resilience is there. So he's just pressing down lightly. He's using tiny little pressure, just the lightest of pressure on me. And my body will hold nice and strong. If something disrupts that flow, my arm will go weak. So for example, I can say, my name is Fred. I can't hold my arm.
Let me try that out. I've got Dinesh over here. So while you play with Robert, I'm going to play with Dinesh.
Play with Dinesh. Sounds good. So my name is Orange. My name is Amy. My name is Ceiling. My name is Amy. I'm really holding strong. Okay, now let's do you. Say something.
My name is George.
Thank goodness, no.
My name's Robert.
Nice and strong. He cannot hold, no matter how hard I try. When he says my name is
Amy, I'm going to do Dinesh. I'm going to do Dinesh.
Dinesh. Do Dinesh.
So you need to have your hand out. And so I'm going to test. So does it matter which shoulder you put the other hand on, Amy?
It doesn't. As long as you're completing the circuit, whatever feels comfortable for you.
So he's just, oh my God, he's really strong. You know, all these biceps, he's really strong. Okay, so now, Dinesh, what's your name? Dinesh. And he's strong. And what's your name? Shashank.
He's so strong, but it's not working.
He was lifting like 20 kilo weights in the gym yesterday. Let's try it again. What color is your hair? White. That's really cool. But yeah.
It's really fun
Okay.
to see.
So you were showing us about the shoulder bag.
Absolutely. It's a great lie detector, yes? It's a great lie detector because people can't tell that's what's not true. So shoulder bag, Robert tests me, and before I even have the shoulder bag on, he's testing me. And when you test someone, you're going to stay above their wrist because if you're pressing here, you're going to get a nice bend. You want to stay above the wrist, which look at he's doing such a nice job of staying above the wrist. My name is Amy. Here I am, nice and strong. Now watch what happens when I put an empty shoulder bag over my shoulder. It doesn't even have much weight to it. But here it is, going on my shoulder. I can't hold.
Okay, I'm going to do
hold.
So Dinesh has got this backpack on. So Dinesh must remove the backpack.
Oh, good.
And this is something he takes to the gym every day, you know, whenever he goes to the gym. So you're just testing him, he's strong. Dinesh, what's your name? Dinesh. Oh, really strong. Okay, go ahead. Where's that backpack? And it's an empty backpack, okay? It's empty. Nothing in it. All right, ready? Are you sure you're strong? Yes. Okay. Sorry, you're not.
We can see you. So now what do? We just never wear backpacks or packs ever again?
Yeah, I mean, do we?
We got to carry stuff. So one thing you can do to help with that is you can rub right here on your cheekbones. You're not rubbing hard, you're just gently massaging on your cheekbones.
Again, does it matter, Amy, whether it is clockwise or anti-clockwise?
Doesn't matter clockwise, anti-clockwise. You can even tap it if it feels good. Some people like to tap on there.
I like the tapping.
And the next thing you do is you tap right here on your collarbones. Come to your collarbone, go just right below the collarbone, and you can tap there or massage there also. You come right here to the center of the chest, over the sternum, and you rub there or tap there. And the last place you go is the bottom of your
Tarzan.
Tarzan, yes. You have to make the sounds to go with it. Oh! And then you have the bottom of the rib cage right here. The base of your rib cage, that's another spot. That's the bottom of the spleen meridian. Massage that. Now test Dinesh and see if his backpack will hold strong.
Okay. 1, 2. Oh my God, he's strong.
Yes. All right, now we're going to check me for my bag. All right, check me for my bag. Nice and strong.
This is really cool.
Those 4 little things that we just did, they're simple, but they work so well. This right here, this helps connect you with the earth. It's a stomach point of the very beginning of stomach meridian. This helps to bring the energy from your body. It helps to take the flow of stomach meridian and flush it down so you connect with the earth. It's a very grounding thing to do. This one right here helps to bring kidney meridian flow up. So you're creating a circuit here. This helps with the thymus. It strengthens your immune system. So if you feel like you're coming down with a cold, you massage right here on the sternum. This right here is your metabolism. It's spleen. All those 4 pieces together help to give you a very quick boost of resilience. Doing it every day is going to make it even that much stronger. But just right now, you see, you do it and 5 minutes later, you're still strong. In fact, let's check. It's been a little while. Check again, Dinesh. Let's check one more time.
Oh, he's still wearing the backpack.
Oh, good. Check him again.
Ready? Yes. He's even stronger.
So it works. It actually will help to strengthen your body. It
It's
seems so
funny how,
simple.
yeah, how it's hardly any weight. It's like having a cloth on your shoulders. But even then, so if somebody must be wearing a shawl like that, does that affect?
The shawl is not so much. Something that actually cuts off the flow of the meridian, because a lot of the meridians come up the arms and the neck. So when you're right here with a strap of any sort, you're sort of interrupting the flow of that meridian pathway. Shawl itself is usually lighter weight, although if you have it tied tightly, perhaps. I haven't seen it cause a problem, but you never know. It would be good to do the exercises. These exercises will never harm you, and the worst they can do is help you.
So people who wear ties and tight belts, that must be really affecting the flow of energy.
It does. It affects the flow because a lot of the meridians go through the neck. So people who wear neckties, definitely. People who wear belts all the time. The meridians run from the ground up and from the top down. So you are cutting off the flow of those pathways.
Okay.
We have lots of tools to give you to help balance those.
So Amy, you taught us that amazing online course, and everybody was so happy that we're actually going to do many more. Fingers crossed, we'll have many more. So can you tell us a little bit about what you will teach on the 4 days of the course, or the 4 sessions of the course?
Absolutely. On the 4 days, we do about an hour and a half each day, and each day we learn a little bit more and we practice with each other. So it's great if you have a buddy to do it with. If you don't, then plenty of it is doable on yourself, because a lot of this is self-care. We want you to be able to take care of yourself first, and then you can help the people in your life. Because if you're not resilient and strong, you're going to be no value. It's like on the airplane when they say put your air mask on first. You want to take care of yourself. Self-care is essential, which is why we call it the essential self-care. And then you can help others. We tend to look at other people and say, oh, I can help you. Help you first and then go out. So the first thing we do is learn essential self-care tools. That's the first day. We learn a whole bunch of tools that help build resilience. You've learned a few of them tonight, but we will have many, many, many more that do many more things. We learn techniques for grounding. Lots of techniques to help you to be able to have that exchange with the earth, because we can take some of the earth's gifts up to us, but we also need to exchange and send the old stale stuff out into the earth so that it can filter it and reflush it back into us. So we need to know how to create those circuits. We learn how to self-test. So if you have food that you're not sure if it's good for you, or if you have a supplement, or if you have a medicine, a pharmaceutical that a doctor's prescribed for you, you can actually test and see if it's beneficial for you right at that moment.
Yeah, but that's so important, because I remember the last time I had a very bad throat infection. I had to take an antibiotic to clear it out, and it really didn't agree with me. And then the doctor said, oh, okay, if this didn't agree with you, try this one. And the other one was all right. So it would have been so nice to know whether, sometimes you have to take this, the antibiotics. I know that they're not so good, but there are some compositions that are less harmful to me than others. And it would be just so fantastic to find out which ones.
Yes, and the doctors actually appreciate it before you take it. My friend who's a doctor will ask me to test things. to see first if they are appropriate, if they are the appropriate one. She'll give me a choice of 2 or 3 to prescribe so that I can help her test the energy of them, to test if it's in harmony. So let's say you do have an antibiotic that they give you and you don't feel good, but there are no other choices because that's the only one you can take. You can do that figure 8, the infinity sign between you and the medicine, and it will help your body to work with it better. So if you're stuck with somebody who has to take chemotherapy or a medicine that there are no choices, you can make harmony with it so your body can assimilate it and work with it. It's not that it's the best thing to do, but if you have to do it, you can make harmony with it.
Yeah. Amy, this figure 8 thing, I just remembered when you talked about the medication. I taught it to my niece. She's 13-year-old and she's juvenile diabetic. And the little one simply doesn't understand why she should not be having sweet stuff, and of course her blood sugar goes all over the place if she cheats, and she does that quite often.
She's 13, of course.
Yeah, and I taught her this, and I said, if you do it once a week, it will not hurt you so much. And now she has this little piece of chocolate once a week, and she does the figure 8 between herself and the chocolate, and it really doesn't bother her as much as it would have. Her mother is also very happy because she does not have to constantly police her anymore.
The girl feels empowered. She has the power to how to take care of herself. Yeah. That's one of the things that this work does. It's empowering. It helps you to have. Most of the time we have no idea. How do I take care of myself? If I feel like I'm getting sick, what do? I don't know what to do. Go take medicine from the pharmacy. No, massage your thymus, thump your thymus. That helps stimulate your immune system. Now that we have tools, we can empower ourselves. Your niece, she can do her infinity sign to her chocolate, and it is much more harmonious for her body. It won't react. Simple things. Why don't we all know this? I want the whole world to know how to do this.
It's interesting how many people kind of dismiss simple things off simply because they are simple. They want complication. Oh, it's so simple. How can it be so simple? How can it actually work? And really, to all those people, I say, don't dismiss something because it's simple. It may be simple, but it's not simplistic. I say the same thing for the batch flower remedies that I teach. They're just a few drops of liquid, and it's so amazingly potent. It's unbelievable.
It is.
So yeah, you might think that, what difference does it make if I just thump my thymus? Well, thump and see for yourself.
It certainly can't hurt.
Yeah.
The worst it can do, I always say, the worst thing it can do is help. It can never hurt you. You cannot hurt you. Well, okay, I take that back. You could bruise yourself by hurting your arm. Other than that, you can't hurt yourself. There's no harm to it. And you're right. Why not try it? What's the harm in trying it?
So Amy, where the hand was pushed and the hand went weak. So you said there are kind of meridians running through the muscles. So I'm being evil here, but I'm wondering, is there a way to just weaken a muscle just like that?
Absolutely, you can weaken.
What are you saying?
So here's the anterior deltoid. You get to do this with Dinesh too. The anterior deltoid, this muscle right here, this muscle is related to gallbladder meridian. So if I hold his arm right here and I have him hold his fingers out nice and straight, because we want the meridian to be nice and straight through. So I have him hold nice and strong, and then all I do is I flutter. I'm just fluttering, disrupting the flow through that muscle. And now watch. Hold. Hold. Are you holding?
Okay, I'm gonna do this on Dinesh.
Try it. But now watch. I didn't do anything, and now it just resets itself. So now, once again, it's strong. It's just as I flutter it, it weakens it, and then it gets strong again. Now let's see. Show us Dinesh's anterior deltoid. The movement forward is slightly in front, so put his arm at a 90 degree in front of him, and then just a little bit down. There you go, a little bit down. Drop it down just a little bit. More. There you go. That's.
So you test it from here. So, okay. and he's very strong. Actually, I can actually feel, when I put my hand on the shoulder, I
Yes,
can feel the muscle.
yes.
Yes, I mean, I can feel something going on in that muscle. Okay, and now I am doing some magic here.
I can feel something in the muscles also.
Doesn't it feel like it's moving?
It's a big ego bruise for Dinesh. But I can just rub it and it becomes all right again, doesn't it?
Yep.
And yes, he's strong again. Isn't that
It's
cool,
strong.
man?
It's wonderful because if you have a muscle that starts out weak, let's say this muscle started out weak, and there's nothing, the person's injured it, they're started out weak, there are points to hold to strengthen it. Those are points that we learn to strengthen it.
Ah.
So you can actually help muscles that have gone weak, or when somebody's been ill, but the muscles are weak. You can take a muscle, and why would we want to weaken it? Just to get information. It gives us information. If we can turn that muscle on and off, it gives us information. If we can't turn the muscle off and make it go weak, then we don't know if it's telling us the truth or not.
Okay. That's yeah. Finish.
Amy and Robert, how does the knowing about the energy systems or the meridians and this work that you do, how does it complement somebody who's regular with yoga or meditation?
Oh, it's wonderful with yoga and meditation. With every possible, when you're doing yoga or meditation, all of these meridians are doing their job of bringing the information to you. It's helping with relaxation. The pathways, whenever when you're sitting in cross-legged positions for meditation, or when you're in some of the yoga poses, as long as the meridians are flowing freely, those positions will be more comfortable. Your yoga practice is going to be so much more effective, and your meditations are going to be clearer. It makes such a difference to get all of this work. They're so complementary.
Great. What else would you like to tell us, Amy?
In this Meridian Fundamental class, we're also going to learn about pain and stress relief. Little bits on pain and stress relief. Basic tools to use for pain and stress, which everybody has little pains here and there. You already know one of the great tools, just your infinity sign. So we have a full class of lots of information with time for questions and answers and stories. I think the first group that we had, they came back after the first night with miracles.
Yeah.
Yes.
So had this miracle and this miracle, and I haven't slept, and I had this pain, and they all came back with their miracles of what had happened, just doing the essential self-care. That's all they learned the first night, and they did essential self-care, and their lives changed.
Yeah. And I'm like, I know that if you really want to go deep into this and do a Meridian Mastery course, then it's like a 3-year course, and it's quite involved. So could you kind of rattle off a few things that we would learn on the full 3-year course?
You bet. We're going to learn the Meridian Pathways, which is essential. If you start learning where the pathways are on the body, that lung meridian goes this way, then you know when you have a pain along here that it's related to lung meridian, and you know what to do. We learn meridians, we learn the muscles associated with them. So the weakness, like I was saying, if you have a weak muscle, you have neurovascular points that help to strengthen those. You have neurolymphatic points, which help to strengthen and flush toxins from the body. We learn how to balance the autonomic nervous system, including working with the vagus nerve. That's something really important. That's your rest and digest.
The vagus is such an important nerve, and it would be wonderful to have more and more ways of working with the vagus.
We will learn how to balance the vagus nerve and how to support it. Simple things to do that are easy. A lot of this work, it doesn't look weird when you're out in public doing it. You can do some things, and a lot of it you can do by thinking it. You learn the tools, but you can actually imagine the infinity sign between you and somebody else if you can't actually do it. A lot of it you can do in your thoughts that will also do it as if you're touching it. So it doesn't look too weird. What else are we going to learn? We're going to learn source points. Those are points that actually go directly to the organs. So let's say you've got issues with your large intestine. There are points that actually help to support that large intestine. You've got kidney stuff going on. You've got points to support kidney. Lots of specific points. We're going to learn a little bit about the Chinese system and their relationship of 5 elements and their relationship with meridians. Very nice complementary in partners and masculine, feminine. We're going to learn how to balance those, how to deal with flows and controls. People who have issues when they don't feel like they're in control or when they have too much people controlling them. We learn how to balance that. That's another great story. I had a couple who came to me and they were fighting, and I taught them this simple little balance, and they came back for their next session and said, that was the best marriage counseling we've ever had. All they did was hold points, and they said it was the best marriage counseling. We're going to learn about the electricity in the body. We're all electrical systems. We're all mostly water, so there's a lot of electricity flowing through our bodies. We're going to learn how to flush and reset the meridians so that they're fresh and balanced. We're going to learn about hormones, how to balance hormones, release negative energy and emotions, deal with our biofield, so many more things. Lots and lots and lots more in that first year.
Sounds really, really interesting.
It's a lot of fun.
I have to tell everybody that Amy and Robert very graciously agreed to come to India and teach us right here instead of all of us going to America. They said that okay, they will come to India to teach us, and once this tiresome virus has finished its rounds, we'll start really doing something about having Amy and Robert in India to teach us about the meridians and really go into meridian mastery. But meanwhile, like I said, once in 40-45 days, we are going to be doing the online version of the fundamentals of the meridians, where like Amy said, you will learn a few of the simple self-care routines that really allow you to self-care, and a lot of those little fun exercises that we did today. Amy has got a lot of those up her sleeve, and they're just so much fun to do and so intriguing. I mean, it kind of really blows your mind that if you just do that, a person who can usually lift 50 kilos with his hand cannot even hold a 2-finger resistance. And it takes you into wonder and awe of the human body and what this amazing gift that we have got just for free. What mysteries and what secrets it has, and this is just one more step into that direction. So we're really looking forward to having Amy and Robert in India, and many of you coming and learning from them. And of course, before they can come, while we wait for them, Amy has got this amazing online workshop that we can all learn. And I will put the link to her website and to enroll, register for that workshop below this video, and so you can do it and learn from her this amazingly simple, just drawing a few lines on the body or fluttering about the body, and it's somehow it's magic, really.
It really does look like magic. I mean, you saw Dinesh. We know how strong Dinesh is, and he couldn't hold his arm, and it's just simple disruption. We want to build resilience. We really do. And there will be a point where the resilience is so strong that the fluttering will not make you go weak. As you get stronger with your systems and the meridians get more and more supported, he can flutter all he wants around you, Dinesh, and it won't matter.
Okay.
Build resilience for life.
Amy, any last thoughts? Anything that you would like to tell us?
Nothing else. Thank you so much for your interest and your support. And Baba and Dinesh, I can't thank the two of you enough. The blessing that you two have been coming into our lives. We had no idea that we would become family so quickly with people so far across the world. And we're both looking forward to traveling. It's not something we had ever planned, but it seems like it's just fallen into place. So we really, really are looking forward to being in your community and in your presence and having the ability to work together. I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay, but
We would also like to thank
one last thing,
Lalit
Amy.
and Soumya.
Yes, of course. Lalit and Soumya are the people who actually kind of, really found Amy, and yeah. But Amy, we have one more thing that needs to happen before we end this interview.
Mm-hmm.
We have to meet Sadie.
Oh, let's go get Sadie. Lalit and Soumya have been a delight. Soumya and I have been working together for a while now, and she's amazing. What she knows and what she can do, and Lalit as well, just how quickly he learns.
Hey, Sadie. Hey, Sadie.
There's our Sadie girl.
Hi. Hey, Sadie. Hey. Hi, Sadie. Hello.
Unfortunately, she will not be traveling to India with us, but she will be with us on the online course.
Yeah. She's such a sweetheart.
She is.
Okay, Amy and Robert, it was just brilliant talking to you guys, and thank you so much for taking out the time to be with us and talk to our audience. And Dinesh, you were saying something?
Nothing. Lalit and Soumya, they're also CST practitioners, so that the healing aspect also helps a lot, they were saying. Knowing about the meridians and how the energy systems of the body work.
That's one very happy dog right now. Okay, folks, it was absolutely wonderful talking to you guys. Thank you so much. And we'll keep meeting online, and for sure, we're going to meet offline very soon.
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amy.